Please be sure to donate to my Patreon to help support the channel. Link in the description down below.
It's showtime.
What's happening, guys? Django Fett here, Honey Down Games, comics, TV shows, movies, and more. And this is a review for Annihilation. And in anticipation for this movie, I actually ended up getting an Ex Machina t-shirt. Pretty badass stuff, just to support Alex Garland. And seeing as I love that movie, I had to go out and watch this movie. So, let's get to the plot and then give you my thoughts of the movie. So, Annihilation is a 2018 science fiction horror film written and directed by Alex Garland, based on a novel of the same name by Jeff Vanderbeek. The film stars Natalie Portman, Oscar Isaacs, and other people you don't really give a shit about, and it follows a group of military scientists who enter the Shimmer, a mysterious quarantine zone that is full of mutating landscapes and creatures. So let's talk about the good before I get into the bad with this film. So what are the good parts? So first off, Natalie Portman is great in this movie. She is fantastic. One of the best actresses to this day. Just a great lead in this movie. And Oscar Isaacs was also good. Not great by any means like he was in Ex Machina, but good. And there was also a nice nod to Ex Machina with one of the actresses from Ex Machina returning into this movie. So I thought that was a nice little nod. It was just in the beginning, but pretty cool. And then what stood out to me quite a lot was the visuals and cinematography. Fantastic. The CGI, I mean, they spared no expense. They did a tremendous job, just like they did with Ex Machina. This film continues it once again, if not even better than Ex Machina, though preferably I prefer Ex Machina's visuals, just to be honest. The visuals are just fantastic. It's a pretty looking film to look at, and the camera shots are just phenomenal. Like, once again with Ex Machina, they repeat this shit once again. I mean, it's just a beautiful looking film overall. And there are some just genuinely terrifying and great moments in the film. And you're literally on the edge of your seat and just feel, you're just like holding your breath the whole time those scenes are happening. And this movie reminded me a lot of A Sound of Thunder, the Ray Bradbury story, in which pretty much these rich guys travel back in time to the dinosaur age. One of them accidentally steps on a butterfly. Once they come back, pretty much the whole world is destroyed. It's all messed up. And I liked that premise, and I really envisioned this movie to be somewhat like that. And it kind of is, in a way. It's totally different. It's actually totally different, but it reminded me of that. And it kind of reminded me of the movie, which was fucking terrible. But this one is, you know, far better. Just the idea reminds me of that. And the ideas, some of the ideas that this movie was presenting was actually pretty cool. Now the bad. This movie is just littered to the brim with problems that really held it back from me. The beginning was really slow. The first 40 minutes, just, my god, I mean, my friend was just sleeping that whole time when that was happening, and then it picked up when they entered the Shimmer, but, you know, he was still, like, just dropping out. And the leader of this team, a psychologist played by Jennifer Jason Leigh, fucking awful, my god. She was just boring as shit. Just some random psychologist who joined the fucking team, and she was just totally miscast in this movie. She should have, like, stayed the fuck away from this movie, because she was just terrible. She did not fit in this movie whatsoever. Bring in somebody else, just not her. Now let's get into the main problems I had with the film. The movie has numerous plot holes. I'm not just talking about major big plot holes. I'm talking about the small ones too. The small little tiny ones you probably will never notice as a general audience member, but as somebody who just notices that shit instantly, it bothers me to no end to see that shit. Movies back then, they didn't have those problems, but movies nowadays, they're just littered to the brim with plot holes and plot devices, and just to make it easier for the audience to understand. But this movie is all about being a smart, artsy film, misses the plot holes completely. I love Alex Garland. I love his films, okay? I will defend him to this day. But he kind of let this go completely away. Like, they completely glossed it over. Simple shit, too. Such as, you know, the suits. Why didn't they wear suits? They never even talked about that. Why was there a female crew? Why weren't they properly trained? Why there was no anticipation into first entering the Shimmer? It's like another day at fucking work. It's just like, okay, let's go to the Shimmer. And they all just entered in. There was no tension whatsoever. None. Like, look at films like Stargate or, you know, A Sound of Thunder. Be it bad films, the anticipation of entering something like a new world was something neat and original. I mean, just come on, guys. It's a whole new segment. It feels like a whole new reality, and you're just glossing it over. Not very smart right there. These writers, these directors, these producers can go back at the film and then, you know, do some changes here and there. They can do that to make it that there's no plot holes, there's not all these stupid things that happen in the film. They can go back and edit the film, do reshoots or whatever. They can do that shit. But they don't. They make even more problems. And another is the convoluted plot. It gets way too smart and over your head towards the end. And I'm not saying you have to dumb it down or make it too complicated for the audiences to figure out on their own, but have a balance. Like fucking Ex Machina, I mean, your last freaking movie. And when it tries to become so smart and thought-provoking, it just comes off cheesy and just badly executed. And finally, this movie requires multiple viewings, as well as watching tons of YouTube videos to freaking understand. I know the YouTube videos haven't come out yet, but I'm sure they'll come out like fairly soon, explaining this movie more in detail. But just to appreciate and understand the film, you have to do all of that shit. You know what I have to say about that? Fuck that. I'm not gonna pull a fucking Chris Stuckman with Blade Runner and pull that shit. That's not how movies work. You watch it once, you should be able to understand the gist and really like it from there. Not just multiple times and then, oh, now I love it. Like, no, that's fucking stupid. So my final rating for Annihilation is... I only recommend this movie if you are the artsy type or you like Alex Garland films. If you're not one of those two, then don't watch this movie. And it's just my biggest disappointment of this year so far. I was actually looking forward to this way more than any other movie this year, and it's just like, oh my god. Not good. I mean, I feel kind of betrayed after wearing this fucking shirt and everything, and just like, oh man, come on, Alex Garland. So I hope he returns to form in the next movie. I hope that ends up being good, but I'm actually going to be doing another Annihilation video. Basically, not going into the spoilers, but why it fails as a movie and why it's gonna fail in general. Not so obvious being Black Panther is right next to it, but I'm gonna go into it a little bit more on why it just doesn't work. And so expect that video next week. I was planning on doing the Coder series, but I have to delay that because for work I have to go to St. Louis again. Gonna be gone for a month, so I'm still gonna have a movie reviews for Tomb Raider, Ready Player One, another Annihilation video, as well as Monster Hunter. I'm still going to have those videos, but the Coder series is just going to be on hold until probably like April, so expect that. So if you've seen Annihilation, let me know in the comment section below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comment section. And don't forget to please like this video, subscribe to my channel Django Fett, and donate to my Patreon if you can, and I'll see you, my fellow Mandalorian brothers and sisters, next time. Ooh, yeah!